Okay.
Tape's rolling. Stand by.
We're rolling tape now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we can edit this beginning out when we dub it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hopefully somebody calls in while I'm sitting duck here. I don't bring that much information with me. Okay. How you gonna signal me if there's a phone call?
Yeah, I'll just do like this.
Oh.
On the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my questions are: what was your best film and worst film of the year? Christian Bale being offered $50 million.
10 seconds, stand by.
Pacific Rim and Doctor Who.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the air.
Okay.
Go ahead. Do the air.
Okay, do we have the credits?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Hello, everybody. Good evening, live from New York City. It's Videoland Express with your host, Frankie Sun. And like I promised you, I wanted to get a couple shows in the can. I wanted to get my Black Talk Radio show, which was posted yesterday. And now we're back live. And yes, I did promise you taking phone calls. Just two quick announcements. We finally premiered our first show on Black Talk Radio for the new season, and I'm trying to time everything together with this show with Black Talk Radio down there because there's two different audiences. So I'm trying to put, both audiences together. Okay. Now I did mention live stream. That's going to be basically used for anybody not in the tri-state area. We're doing the show live from New York City. That's going to be just for viewing. We're not going to bother with the chat room or anything like that with the live stream. But we have another channel which is going to be playing our shows right now 24/7. So every time there's a new show, I put it on a live stream. It's video. Actually, it's livestream.com/Videoland Express. It's our own 24/7 channel. Okay. So every time there's a new show, I'm added to a live stream. So. And to get all those links, our website, very simple, videolandexpress.com. All the links are on the home page. Okay, there's about 4 or 5 links. That also includes my blogger page. That's where I do all my daily updates. So anytime I have, some updates during the week, adding things, I'm doing a little variations, and as you can see, we're kind of fixing the credits right now. So we're straightening out a little nicks and necks and stuff like that. So, but the updates will be on the blogger page, and I always put articles. As a matter of fact, there's an interview with Forrest Whitaker, who's going to have the #1 hit this weekend with the Butler. For your Howard fans, Hatchet 3, there's an interview with the director of that. I believe his name is Adam Green, so I'm going to be posting that tomorrow. They are 2 radio podcasts. I thought the interviews were great, and I'm going to bring that over to you on my blogger page. Again, it's on the website. And don't forget my community page of Godzilla and my Google Plus page. Everything is on the homepage of VideolandExpress.com. All the links are right there. And pretty soon I'm going to be taking some of those links and I'll be posting them over to the blogger page. Okay, so that blogger page is also expanding. Okay. I did a solo show with Black Talk Radio. I'm going to have 2 more specials, another one coming this week. And part 1 will be how movies, animation, and then the second part will be superheroes, action, and sci-fi. Okay, and then hopefully I'll be back here in 2 weeks on Labor Day weekend. Okay, unless it's like a real thunderstorm, then it'll be a repeat. But if it's a nice weather like today, I'll be there. So, with that being said, I have a couple questions for you guys, okay? We'll go over the box office, for example, Top Gun, 2 Guns. Denzel Washington, Mark, that went from 1 to 8, and now it's going to disappear. Excuse me, it went to 1 to 5 to 8. In 3 weeks, it's already off the top 10. That's embarrassing. Everything is way off. Okay, let's go to the phone call. I have a couple questions for you guys. What do you think about Christian Bale being offered $50 million for Batman? Do you think Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who, is too old? Are you looking forward to Pacific Rim, the sequel? Maybe you have a question for me. Let's get to the phone calls. Hello, you on there?
Yes, Frankie, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a couple of years. Glad to catch up on channel, sir. But first, I just want to catch up. What's your personal view of the Man of Steel movie? Did you see the Wolverine? And you look forward to the Thor movie coming out in November. And you read that there's supposed to be a 300 sequel coming out this summer. For some reason, they backed it up to next year, so that's usually a bad sign when they back up the movies. It's the same thing with G.I. Joe Retaliation. But just give me your personal reviews of some movies that came out: Iron Man 3, Man of Steel, and The Wolverine. And it's really great to see you again after all these years.
Oh, thank you very much. I took an 8-month break and I started Black Talk Radio. That way people can get in touch with me. Don't forget, this is a half-hour show every 2 weeks. Black Talk Radio is a 2-hour show every week. I'm not too sure which date. It looks like we're looking at a Wednesday night date. It'll probably be 8 or 9 p.m. It'll be a 2-hour show. You'll be able to reach me just like here with a phone call, and the chat room will be open. And it's kind of like another way of expanding the show.
Yeah, actually, I'm the last of the dinosaurs. I can't even spell PC. I'm not to the computers too much. I just have to be channel server, and I caught your program and everything.
Well, I'm glad you called me. Thank you for following me. I'd like to thank everybody for following me.
A couple of years ago down at J&R Music Road and everything, you and the other gentleman. But I just want to get your catch-up of the reviews of all the movies came out. The Star Trek, Into Darkness, Iron Man 3, Man of Steel, The Wolverine. Well, what'd you think about that?
Okay, let's start with the superheroes real quick, okay? Like I said, since we have half an hour, I'll be expanding more on the themes of that. Okay, Iron Man 3, I think, is one of the worst superhero films, and this is the reason why. A lot of people are kind of confused with that. It made $1 billion. That doesn't mean anything, okay? Because everybody's still in the mode of the Avengers in 3D, so all the hype was already there for Iron Man 3. Me being an Iron Man fan, and this is something I wanted to show you. I just put this out of my bag. I don't know I was going to show this, but anyway, this is an old DVD-ROM that has all, I think up to maybe 3 years ago, has all the Iron Man comic book issues in this. And I was a big fan of looking forward to Mandarin or the Crimson Clover. This Iron Man 3 was so political with corporate stinkified, meaning that they were so worried about offending the Chinese, offending the Russians, that made only one villain, Mandarin, and they made him into an actor. And I thought that was bullcrap. That was not fair to the fans. I mean, I've been following this since I was a kid, so it was a personal insult to me. The villain is an actor. It's like having the Joker. Oh, he's not crazy. He's actually a gardener. So what the hell is that about? You know what I'm saying? And Superman, Man of Steel. I love the science fiction angle. They finally got that right, but it was too convoluted, and flashbacks do not work with superhero movies. I'm looking forward to Thor. I didn't think the original Thor #1, they're going to pull it off. Actually, that's one of the best ones out there, believe it or not. They really pulled it off, but they had this whole Shakespearean attitude about it. Hopefully, they can do the same thing. Captain America, I thought they got that right. But they went a little bit back and forth with that. Hopefully, they'll straighten that out. So right now, I'm kind of disappointed in the superhero movies. I like the science fiction angle of Superman, but the rest of the story, like, there's no Lois Lane. I mean, and General Zod, with that whole punching and fighting at the end, it was over excessive and it wasn't necessary, and these movies are running too long. Wolverine, I like the angle they did it, but I swear to God, where did the budget go? And it looked like that could have been filmed in Vancouver. I expected this big scenario of Japan. What's Mount Fuji? The only way you got a sense of him being in Japan is that temple where they had the big fight, and then him in a bullet train. I mean, and everything looked familiar. Okay, bullet train, wasn't that Spider-Man fighting a Dr. Octopus? And at the end, when he's fighting for those who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil anything, but he's fighting a robot. And it wasn't that almost the same thing as at the end of what's the flick? I just went blank. Iron Man #1. The two robots are fighting each other. So it's like familiar territory. They didn't take advantage of the Japanese scenery, and with CG they could have filmed it in Vancouver. It didn't matter. So right now I'm kind of really disappointed in the superhero movies. And my main beef is why they're all depressed. Oh, I don't want to be a superhero. Oh, there's too much responsibility. Come on, everybody wants to fly. What the hell? I mean, and it's so depressing. The movie's supposed to be fun. I mentioned that on my broadcast. And these superheroes movies are too fun. They're making it too dark. Okay, Batman, I can see why it's dark. Can we lighten up? Like, that's why a lot of fans were not happy with Avengers. Oh, they're laughing, they're goofing. It's a summer movie. Lighten up. Now everybody wants to make a dark movie like Batman. Anyway, science fiction. Star Trek, I think they did a great job. Even though some fans were pissed off with that whole Wrath of Khan kind of angle. But I think it worked mainly because the show was under the foot. Not giving too many spoilers alert, but we get an angle of from Spock. How would he react to the whole scenario? In this alternate universe, he lives. And he goes after Khan and beats the crap out of him. I love the ending. I thought it was fantastic. Okay, for those who haven't seen it, I'm not spoiling anything because there's a little twist at the end. You fans are going to love it who haven't seen it. And I'm looking forward to 300. If you listen to, watch History Channel, there was a whole angle of the different scenarios leading up to that battle. There was other battles leading up to that. So this movie, I believe, is a prequel. And if you, I remember one afternoon, they had all these chapters leading up to the 300 movie, and all the different battles. So they picked this one battle, which is the prequel. And it's interesting how they, both armies confronted each other, and how one army outsmarted the other army. One army's like this here, instead of going head on like this here, they went around. I mean, that should look really great on a big screen. So I think hopefully 300 should work. Zack Snyder, right now, I don't know. He's going to do the next Batman versus Superman. I don't know. What do you think about people asking about him, Christian Bale coming back? They're trying to, he says he's not going to do it. The trilogy over, that's it, I'm moving on. And, they're dangling the little $50 million bill in front of him to do Batman versus Superman. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this should be interesting. Did you enjoy the movie Marvel's The Avengers? Did you like that one?
The Avengers? Oh, yeah, I love that film.
Yeah, I think everyone liked that. And you look forward to the S.H.I.E.L.D. series coming out this in September? Did they pull that off on the TV screen?
To be honest with you, I don't watch that much TV anymore. Besides, I watch a lot of cable shows. I'm a big fan of Dexter, True Blood. I'm looking forward to the ending of that, especially Dexter. We don't know if he's going to live or die. And he said most likely there won't be a movie. As far as the S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm not big on superheroes being on TV. I mean, I was not a fan of Smallville, Arrow. I was not into it. I know the hardcore fans love it. As long as they love it and the S.H.I.E.L.D. works out, I got no problem with it. But like I said, I'm a cord cutter. And besides Big Bang Theory, I don't watch anything else on TV.
Do you watch Spartacus on the Star Channel? Do you like that?
That one I haven't got around to, believe it or not. I love
like 300, the series. It's a really good series. You should get into that. And have you ever watched the animated DC programs like the Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox, and they're having another Justice League come out next year, January, Justice League War, when Darkseid takes over take off play. Have you watched the animated direct-to-DVD ones?
Oh, yeah. It's funny you should mention that because I saw the Iron Man animated with it kind of like it's supposed to be a Japanese anime. And for the most part, Marvel is getting all the superhero movies right. And besides Iron Man 3, which I didn't like, they're getting all the other Avenger movies, all the separate, Thor, Captain America, the Avengers movie. I thought they're great. Hopefully the second one will be just as good. I thought Loki was hysterical. But when it comes to Marvel animation, something is not right there. They're not fun. They're gloomy. I forgot the name of the last Iron Man animation, and the villain was kind of like lame. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. Now, Warner Brothers they're having a hard time with Superman and trying to get the Justice League movies together. I thought they did a great job with Batman. But let me tell you, anything that comes out on DVD, Blu-ray, animation, Warner Brothers, so far, my lowest rating from 1 to 5 is a 4. And that has to do with that British guy, the Jack there, when his gang, that was a couple of Blu-rays ago. And that was like my least favorite.
Superman versus the Elite?
Yes, and I give that a 4. I thought it was excellent. The Paradox was great.
Anything with that was excellent. You see the All-Star Superman, the animation? I think that was worse than the Elite. The All-Star Superman with Superman cancer and stuff like that.
No, that one I didn't see. I saw the one before that, Unbound, where again.
Yeah, him and Brainiac. Yeah, that's pretty okay.
And the funny thing about that, a lot of people don't realize that was supposed to be the original Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve. Believe it or not.
Yeah, right.
Right, they're supposed to introduce a Brainiac, and Lex Luthor makes a deal with them. But then Richard Pryor went on to the Tonight Show. He said, "I want to be in Superman 3," and Brainiac, and that script went out the window. That was actually written by Kevin Smith, and that went out the window. And finally, 10, 15 years later, there's a book on Superman by Jack Rosen I mentioned on the last show. I've been mentioning on Block Talk Radio. And in the book, it has all the history of all the different Superman movies. And it mentioned that Kevin Smith was hired to do the whole Brainiac. As a matter of fact, if you go on, I think you Google search, put Kevin Smith, space, Superman, space, Brainiac, you'll find the script. The script has been floating out there. And the movie starts off with a Brainiac ship and stuff like that. They took some of that and they made Superman Unbound. That was supposed to be Superman 3, believe it or not.
Is that right? Okay, last question. Did you watch and see Batman Superman Public Enemies and Batman Superman Apocalypse? And did you like those animations? And hang up and let another caller.
Apocalypse was
Great to
really
see.
good. That, like I said, I have no problem with any of them. I love the Blu-rays because you always get the commentary with them. I always listen to the commentaries. I recommend for you guys who want to have career in comic books or voiceovers. They do a great job with the commentaries. They're all behind the scenes. They give you a lot of featurettes, and they give you some extra episodes or other stories related to it. I think Warner Brothers, I got to give them a shout out. Warner Brothers does such a great job on the Blu-rays with all the bonuses they give you. $20, man, you're there like the whole weekend having like 12 hours worth of stuff on it. I think Warner Brothers does a great job on it. I hope they can get their act together with the live Batman and versus Superman.
Have you been checking out the new Avengers series of Avengers Assembled and Beware the Batman on the Cartoon Network? I think on Disney Channel.
No, I haven't got a chance to catch up with that. I'm trying to catch up with a lot of stuff. Right now, I'm trying to do this and working on the new music stuff that I'm actually writing for. So.
Okay, thanks a lot, Frankie. I love the show, man. Take care, buddy.
Thank you for calling.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go more in depth with that on the Black Talk Radio show. I did mention a lot right there in a nutshell. But I'm going to go more into details on that. That's like I said, because I forgot to mention a couple of things. So let me catch up with that real quick. On the Black Talk Radio, we're going to have a Star Trek special. The movie Into the Dark is going to come out, and we haven't got a chance to review the last box set. We're going to do that. Let's see. And I forgot to mention, that's right. Let me mention this here. One of my favorite movies of the year, I forgot to mention last time, was Warm Bodies. It's not really a comedy about zombies, but I'm going to show you this here because we're going to do a tribute to Ray Harryhausen. Okay. When this is one of the first things he started with. Actually, this is the first movie they actually animated on, Beast of 20 Fathoms. Of course, after that, Tokyo, Japan, Toho Studio decided we want a creature of our own, and that's where Godzilla came from. And we're going to have a tribute to Godzilla. Don't forget, if you go to our community page, you will see a link to our Godzilla community page. And we got about 100 members over there. Of course, the Toro, who did Pacific Rim, he's a big Ray Harryhausen. I mentioned that on the other show, that Hellboy 2, when Hellboy fights this giant creature plant, and that he said that whole animation sequence was dedicated to Ray Harryhausen. He's a big Harryhausen fan. But talk about the Toro, because next month World War Z is going to come out. Brad Pitt is having the last laugh. I mentioned in the show that they had this thing, Pacific Rim. It's a new system called tracking, and they say Pacific Rim is not tracking good. That means it's not going to do good at the movie houses or anything like that. Pacific Rim is going to gross over $400 million worldwide. Boy, were they wrong on that one, but they didn't figure out that Lone Rangers was going to be a complete wipeout at the box office, totally wiped out. And Disney said themselves, we're beat out of $200 million we're never going to see. Okay, so the whole idea by tracking kind of bombed. So Pacific Rim, we're crossing our fingers that there should be a sequel, and that all depends if the Blu-rays sell really good. Then there will be a sequel. It's pointing in that direction. Right now, it's about $350 million, and it just got released this weekend on Japan, and that should be another $50 million. So that's looking good. And talk about the Toro, because I did mention Warm Bodies. Take a quick look at this here. The Toro he's a big zombie lover. This is the 2-disc set, and the Toro does the introduction, and he does a 10-minute thing about why he loves this movie, why he loves zombies. Okay, and the reason for this is, if you see Warm Bodies, which I recommend, that's going on my top 10. There's not much in the top 10 this year, folks. I'll tell you that much, okay? But there's a song that gets played in the soundtrack. Okay, now it's not a love story. Warm Bodies is not a love story. I didn't have the DVD with me. I should have. But he mentions to rescue the girl. So the first half hour is like a love story. And then he's showing her, he's got this airplane that he made it like his own little apartment, his own little shack and stuff like that. And, he's showing her records and posters and everything. And he pulls out this DVD. And the song is a love song by Rocka. I don't want to ruin the surprise for you. But then the movie turns into an action sequence, and then they got this other type of zombies called the Bonies. And they're like the zombies that completely deteriorate, and they're basically skeletons. And it turns into an action film at the end, especially in the last half hour. So, but I figured I just mentioned that. Okay. The other thing I wanted to tell you real quick is box office. Butler is gonna kick ass, literally at the box office. Kick Ass 2 is not doing that good like it should be. I don't know what's happening there, but the good thing about Butler already, Forrest Whitaker and Oprah Winfrey, they're talking about Oscars already. Why not? There's nothing else there. The only other movie that I recommend will be 42, the Jackie Robinson story. And let me tell you, I think Harrison Ford should get an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Everybody should get nominated for 42. But right now, I took this off the internet, Box Office Mojo. That's where I get all my top 10 stuff like that. And Harrison Ford, besides needing that nomination, he needs Star Wars, big time. Mainly because his film Paranoia came in at number 10. I never saw anything like that for years. It's supposed to be a big major blockbuster. 2,500 screens was released and is at number 10. First week at number 10, that's an embarrassment. And then apparently the new audience doesn't care if Harrison Ford is there or not, unless he's doing Indiana Jones or Star Wars. Nobody really cares. I think that's a shame. He's doing another movie called Ender's Game, another sci-fi, where they're protecting the child from the future or something like that. It takes place in the future, protecting the child. I don't know. To me, it doesn't look good. Okay, so Harrison Ford definitely needs that Star Wars hit. Okay, and the other one that came out really poorly is Jobs, the movie about Steve Jobs. The biography that came out on number 6 will be gone by the top 10 by next week. But if you're kind of curious about Steve Jobs and the whole history of that, let me recommend another movie. I haven't seen Jobs, I don't know, but it's getting better reviews. But one movie I guarantee you really like has, what's his name? Can you read my own handwriting? Look at that. Noel Wiley, Anthony Michael Hall. It's called Pirates of the Silicon Valley. Okay, just look it up on IMDb. Noel Wiley plays Steve Jobs, and Anthony Michael Hall plays Bill Gates. And they talked about the rivalry between them. And I got nominated for a Golden Globe, I think. That's the better movie. I believe that's available on Netflix. I think Redbox also has it. So I definitely recommend, the other embarrassment I said at the beginning, Two Guns, Denzel, and Marky Mark. He needs his funky bunch, because let me tell you, both guys could not hang on to the box office. Came out number 1, number 5, and now is at number 8. And they're not going to clear 100 million. This is going to be one of Denzel's worst box office movies. And remember that they were bragging about, Denzel has another hit because his movie also cleared opening weekend 20 million. Yeah, but it's not going to clear 50 million. That's an embarrassment. And it's not doing good overseas. I only opened a couple markets, but it's already hinted at nobody's interested in this. I think that's really a shame. The other one I can recommend, okay, I haven't seen Percy Jackson. I don't like going to a movie house where the place is empty. And that friends went on Friday night, and they just told me, Frank, the place was empty. There was nobody there. And that's why I haven't got a chance to see it. It looks like that's one that's going to fall through the cracks. I'll probably get it on DVD. Kick-Ass 2 looks like the same way. A lot of people are just staying away from it because everybody thought that was going to be the number 1 weekend. The only one I can recommend that's out right now is the last film that I saw, Elysium, with Matt Damon. I think he did a great job. Him and Michael Douglas won for that they got nominated for Golden Globe and Emmys. Not Golden Globes, I'm sorry, for the Emmy nominations. They both got nominated for the Liberace story, Candelabra. Okay, but Matt Damon does a great job. Again, it's one of those post-apocalyptic kind of movies where Earth is completely messed up and people are living outside. Over here, they're living on a space station. It's almost like After Earth with Will Smith and his son. They're living on the moon. And then all of a sudden they come down to Earth. They crash on Earth and try to survive. Elysium is one of the better movies. And the other one, I'm going to have a full review. Okay, I saw the movie, but I got to go through the commentaries and the features. That will be Oblivion. This was not bad at all. Okay, whoop. Let me see. Let me put it up here so we can see it. Okay, that's one of the many magazines that I get in the mail. But Oblivion is like, there's a fine line. Is it dedicated to the older film, like 2001, Planet of the Apes? There's a lot of references in here. Or is it a ripoff? Well, the commentary tells a lot about that. And that I got to give the full review. I'll do that in the next 2 weeks. But I definitely recommend Oblivion. There's a big twist in there. Tom is kicking ass, and you wouldn't believe whose ass he's kissing. Definitely recommend it. Again, I'll also have the review on my Black Talk Radio. Okay. Anybody else on the phone there? Okay. So we got 2 more minutes. Let's wrap this up. Okay. Again, on the top of the hour, I mentioned that we have Black Talk Radio. It's a show we do every week now. Okay, that the show just premiered. It is a match to do. Now, if you hear that, listen to the show is a little frantic because I did the show 3 times during the week, and we've been having a big sound problem with that. It's like the sound gremlin just follows me wherever I go for some reason. But I went ahead and did the show. And that's posted right now. It was originally a 2-hour show. By the time I did the show the 3rd time, what I did was I shrunk it down to about less than an hour and a half. I squeezed a lot of information in there for you guys. Okay? And that's like the premiere episode. The next 2 parts, I said I'm going to be covering all the best and worst movies, DVDs, and Blu-ray reviews. And 2 spots. The first special is going to be horror films, animation, and the second one is going to be all the action, superheroes, and what's the other one? Yeah, the action films and sci-fi. And that's how I'm going to split those 2 shows. And then after Labor Day weekend, as you notice over here, I promise that we start taking phone calls over here, and we're going to start taking phone calls on Black Talk Radio. Okay, we were supposed to have the live stream chat room open. We're going to cancel that. Live stream is just going to present the show because I will have to bring a tablet with me, and it's too disorienting for me. So right now it's going to be over here, and Black Talk Radio will have take the live phone calls, and Black Talk Radio will have the chat room open. Okay. Anything else that I have on this list? I think that's about it. We managed to catch up pretty good. Like say, like next time, I had like a couple of questions. Just my little bit on Batman versus Superman. I think they should have Christian Bale as Batman, because a lot of people Superman, Man of Steel did not do good at the box office like it should have. It barely made $700 million. In the meantime, Iron Man 3 was not very good, and that made over $1 billion. Okay, and then the most embarrassing thing was that Despicable Me made more money at the box office than Superman, Man of Steel, and that's why now they're talking. They mentioned Ryan Gosling, Josh Brolin, and a lot of people were saying, no way, they're going to make really bad a Batman. So now they're going back to Christian Bale, who said, no, I'm not going to do it. But now they're waiving $50 million plus profit points at the box office, plus points on the Blu-ray release. He ain't stupid. I think the sequel needs it. Okay. Like I said, I found the Man of Steel really disappointing. They got the science fiction angle. Russell Crowe saved the movie. Let's put it that way. Playing Superman's father, he saved the movie. When he was not in the movie basically tanked. They got the whole Krypton planet right. They got the science fiction angle right. But it was Russell Crowe who saved the movie. The fans were kind of like, this guy, Superman, Henry Cavill, who cares? And they didn't want another Batman switch around. It's too much of 2 different people. People are not comfortable with the new Superman. And then having another brand new Batman coming in, the audience is going to be, so to play it safe, I think they should have Christian Bale. And that is my final word, everybody. Black Talk Radio, this coming Wednesday or Thursday, every week from now on. And I'll be back here in 2 weeks on Labor Day weekend. Unless there's a thunderstorm, a tornado, or an earthquake, then I'll see you in 4 weeks. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, and I'll see you on Black Talk Radio. And thanks for tuning in, and thank you for your loyalty. Yes. Well, I got one phone caller in there. That's good enough. Served its purpose.